It is the month of love. The day of love is long gone, but it's the month of love. And there's something both couples and singles can do. You can get in touch with nature. Travel experts are saying it'll help reignite relationships and allow singles time to unwind and mingle, if that's what you're looking for, or if you've been stuck inside your house. Evan Sparks from Afritrails. February is a great idea to be talking about hiking and perhaps getting out of the house and getting away, I think, from the claustrophobia that we've all been experiencing.
Hi, Gareth.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Afritrails there, Evan, because we're talking about how important it is for people to get out. So, Evan, let's talk a bit about Afritrails. It looks like you guys have got a lot of ideas, a lot of packages together for people to inspire them to get out and about.
Yeah, exactly. Firstly, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, I think, as you said, the day of love maybe a week past, but the month of love continues. Yeah, at Afritrails, we're a booking platform for overnight hiking trails and accommodation around the country. So, our idea, as you're saying, is, to get away from claustrophobia that we're currently experiencing and get outdoors, reconnect with yourselves, reconnect with nature, and just, really experience the magic of being in the outdoors. The usual gifts of chocolates and flowers and all that are great, but they only last, a week, maybe a couple hours if you're a chocolate lover. But the idea of getting into nature, those experiences and those memories will live on for a lot longer, and you'll feel a lot more rejuvenated. It will just be, a lasting memory and great for you and your loved one, or even your family and friends. I
know a few chocolate lovers, and I can assure you the chocolates don't last an hour. It's mere minutes before those chocolates are gone. No. So I think perhaps a lot of people are a little bit scared when they hear about hiking trails. For those who are not particularly active, they don't even necessarily own a pair of hiking boots. They might get a bit of a fright when we start talking about trails and hiking trails. But this is not for the experienced mountaineer and adventure junkie, is it?
Yeah, so we have everything on the platform ranges from, as you say, for the hiking purist or the adventure junkie, and then all the way back down to the beginner who's never been on a walk in their days. So we really do have some amazing beginner hiking trails all over the country. You can actually search on the site and filter by duration and distances to really, make it something enjoyable for everybody, even for young kids as well.
I'm seeing just some of the areas, and I think this is where a lot of people perhaps, Evan, don't plan any kind of overnight hiking. They don't have any idea where to begin. It's easy to go for a little walk down at your local botanical gardens, but when it comes to perhaps hiking around the amphitheatre, I see you've got the Heritage Trail. I did that trail many, many, many years ago. I was much younger and much thinner when I was able to do that. But it's the kind of planning that goes into something like this that I think would scare people away. But it seems, from what I can see, you're giving everything from the duration of nights to the distance and even guided hikes. And I think that's possibly the big difference with you guys.
Yeah, I think, as you say, generally, it's quite complicated to find a hike that's suitable for, the group that wants to go. And you just don't really even know where to get the information. So we really aggregated all of that, put it together in one centralized platform, and allowed people to make an informed decision based on the information that's on the site, and then they're able to make a booking in real time through the platform. So we've really just made it easier for these trails to be more accessible for everyone.
And the partnerships, I imagine, is incredibly important. Yes, there's the national parks. I mentioned botanical gardens earlier. Those are obvious ones, but in some of the locations, I keep looking at my laptop, I'm looking at your website, some of the trails you have, I imagine you're going to have to sit down with farmers and landowners to try and plot these sort of routes. That isn't just pitch up with your walking shoes and walk through someone's land, is it?
No, exactly. So we have a split on the site of public, trails that are in public parks and national reserves, and then there's the rest, as you say, on private land. So most of these trails have been around on these properties for quite some time, but it's never really been the main focus of the landowner, as you say. They don't really put money into the marketing and getting the trail out there. And I think a platform like this has really allowed them to showcase, their properties, their land, and the beauty of the nature around them. So yeah, as you say, we've had to speak to all those partners, sign them up, and get them excited about what we're doing.
Evan, just before I say goodbye to you, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I always love doing this to people who travel around the world and around the country promoting tourism, which, by the way, is fantastic. Tourism is not just traveling overseas and sitting on the beach. This is also tourism. So well done to you and your team for getting people out there again.
Thank you.
Your favorite spot, but there's a scenario. It's a 2-night stay somewhere around the country, not too intense. What's the spot you would recommend for a weekend away? Someone perhaps missing Valentine's weekend, they're in big trouble with the missus, they have to make up for it.
Sure. So I actually went on a trail in December, which I highly, highly recommend. It was one of the most incredible experiences. It's called the Alexandria Trail. It's out in the Greater Adder Elephant Park, and so just outside PE. And honestly, it was the most mind-blowing experience. Just from 1 minute you're in the forest, next minute you're on the beach, and in the biggest sand dune felt in the Southern Hemisphere. It was just something to, I couldn't actually believe my eyes at some point. So to get out there with family and friends or your loved one would just be, you'd be able to reconnect with each other, reconnect with nature. I think it's just an incredible experience.
If you need a bit of social distancing from each other, it looks like the dunes are quite far apart. You can do that as well. Alexandria Trail is what Evan Sparks from Afritrails is talking about. Evan Sparks, thank you to you. If you're looking for the Alexandria Trail, by the way, head over to afritrails.com.